Welcome everyone to episode 47 of the Jewel Ornament of Liberation series with Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We will begin today's teachings with opening prayers on page number 5 of the Yellow Prayer Book. May all Mother Sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Shajijabeja Donguzanzar, Durjinjanja de Lonaro Dang, Marbamala Jija Gamboba, Pamotraba Javandogomba, Kajula Mananja, Dajon, Dananda Zara Damjada, Lamala Bola, Jezozon, Losayon, Jamzangalava. Dindre Donjendra Bagala Zor Dazo Lo Jizandro Varzinjal Abdozor Jolamdandro Varzinjal Abdozor Landro Vazevazinjal Abdoz Trovai Jizanja Varzinjal Abdozor Gange Dinjendra Varnjong Gaba me baje ba me bada me ba me bandro me ba Dade Dume Doje Me Dubanye Jeje Demba Zoba Zanje Mananje Damba de Lo Janzar Do Jinje Zavalama Jeje Gozon Doje Zinlan Dada Dage Julan Bud Dage Demba Da Zunje Jadon Lobo Jendra Bar Zinje Labdo Zor Interstelle, Dharma friends. Today we will continue our discussion on the level or bhumi. These levels are progressive and pertain to one bodhisattvas like Chinrezig, who travels through all of them by purifying afflictive emotions and obscurations, and so they are called pure, very pure. Impure. Impure, it means over the ordinary sentient beings, and then pure means the Sharavikas. Very pure means practical Buddhas, and then completely pure means Bodhisattvas, and utterly pure means Buddha. So now we have so it's like one plant, the plants that starts from a seed and then grows a sprout and then leaves, then flowers, and then fruit. So right now we have mind. Sometimes our mind is a compassionate one. Sometimes our mind is afflictive emotions one. So this mind eventually attain Buddhahood. So how it eventually attain Buddhahood is it's a journey or travel through the paths and the bhumis. Another name is the levels. So Then now we discussed first level to 6. Today we will discuss about the 7th, from 7th. And then there are 10 bhumis, 10 levels. So after this discussed 10 levels, then the fruits. Next chapter is fruits. Fruits is explained about kayas, 3 kayas, 2 kayas, 4 kayas, and 5 kayas. There are different aspects of kayas. And then after that, how they after that is then the chapter is activities, the Buddhas, how they act. Dharmakaya, how benefit mother beings. Sambhogakaya, how benefit mother beings. Nimanagaya, how benefit mother beings. So everybody has this book. I have this book number is 264. So first we know I am holding a book here, pretty big, thick book, but it's a this is our biography. Really, this is really our biography, because it's start about the it's explain about the situation of ordinary beings, and then we practice avoid 10 non-virtues and cultivate 10 virtues, and then progressive over realizations, experiences, compassion, loving kindness, step by step. So right now we reach on the bhumis, and then among bhumi, today I began from the 7th bhumi. So that's where you should understand. You don't think, oh, this is dharma. This is dharma teaching. Yeah, you are right, but don't think this talking different things. You always should imagine that this teaching talking about to you. This is very important. So because this is our like a journey, how to say journey? Okay, so and the okay, now okay, the 7th bhumi, sorry, 7th bodhisattvas level. Okay, so what I try to say is it's talking about Chinese, for example, and this what is it called? It's a Sanyambo, the Shitigarba, Chinese, Vajrapani. It's talking about them actually. But then, as His Eminence often told us, when we arise compassion in our mind, we are compassionate. So definitely you are compassion Buddha, and so you should think it's talking about to you. So the its specific name is far-reaching. Far-reaching means your wisdom increases. So first, if you are struck with small issues, like some small afflictive emotions, it's very ready to challenge to you, but then you practice dharma, you step by step liberate. So that's where the far-reaching means you reach very higher levels, because you are reaching on the 7th level. So then what is that is the specific etymology. Etymology means meaning of words. What meaning of far-reaching? So it's explained. This level is known as the far-reaching because it connects with the one and only path. and one has come to far end of activity. So that means one and only path means the one reached on the seventh bhumi, and then you directly can travel on the eighth level, and then eighth to the ninth to the 10th, so one by one. It is known as the far-reaching level because it connects with the soli. Soli means the soli, or soul means singular, path, single path, The specific type of training. So specific type of training. This level, this bodhisattva, this level is achieved through eliminating 20 factors. So this purifies 20 kind of afflictive emotions or graspings. So 20 factors such as grasping at self, and through cultivating the opposite qualities such as the 3 gates of total liberation and so forth. Therefore, grasping at self and person, awareness of the 3 gates of total liberation. So I will tell you these 20 factors. Okay, first we discuss 20 factors. So this actually there mentioned 20 factors. Sorry, 20 factors, but they are included three. So one is giving up common grasping. Common grasping is this bodhisattva purifies grasping that what we have. Right now, ordinary beings have grasping. Those graspings, this bodhisattva purifies. Then second is giving up craving for discipline. Craving for discipline, giving up craving for discipline means sometimes we are too much crave about discipline, and then we don't focus about emptiness and non-dualities. So, but this bodhisattva, of course, this bodhisattva keep purely discipline, at the same time, then improve realization of emptiness and non-duality. Then number third is giving up the obscuration to realizing manifest emptiness. Sorry, this this is not number 2. Sorry, number 3 is the 3 gates of liberation. It's practice 3 gates of liberation. So then what are the 3 gates of liberation? Are the emptiness. Emptiness we call gates of liberation, because when we realize emptiness, then we liberate from the dualistic perception. The second is being without aspiration. Without aspiration means themselves. May I become Buddha? May I attain nirvana? They don't have like this aspiration. Of course, they has aspiration that all mother sentient beings may attain Buddhahood. Yeah. Then number 3 is being without attributes. So these are the these 7th bodhisattvas practices. And then the specific practice, they have another specific practice. As although bodhisattvas on this level practice all 10 perfections in general, it is said that they place particular emphasis on that of skillful means. So that means this bodhisattva skill practice is special skillful means. So skillful means method. As I mentioned, there are 10 perfections. Usually we say 6 perfections, and then there are plus 4 perfections. Then there are 10 perfections. So 4 perfections are the perfection of method, perfection of prayer, perfection of power, perfection of wisdom. So total there are 10 perfections. So this bodhisattva who reach on the 7th level, then who practices perfection of method. Perfection of method means that whether they recite a single mantra or rest on the higher view, they perfectly dedicate to all beings equally. In this way, the fruition is unceasing. So perfectly dedicated means usually we practice something and we dedicate it for ourselves. This is not so perfect dedication. But we practice something. After practice, we dedicate our merit for welfare all mother sentient beings. This is the perfect dedication. But the perfect dedication has also perfectly dedicate has also different layers. So the highest way of dedication is realize the non-duality. Non-duality, actually we say that it's the how should we dedicate through non-duality, which means we are resting on the non-duality. This is dedication. This is visualization. This is meditating. So but we still we feel we are going to something dedicate. So then how should we dedicate perfectly? Is that we see these mother beings are like an illusory body, illusory sentient beings, and then all these their experiences like suffering, the obstacles are also illusory. The feeling that is important. And then maybe you have suddenly you have a question that if we that is also quite true, because if we imagine those sentient beings are illusory beings and their sufferings are illusory feeling, and then seems we cannot arise compassion pure compassion. So probably you have this question. If you have that question, is actually wonderful. But compassion, right now we generate compassion is wonderful, but the best compassion is after realizing emptiness, still we have compassion. Like mothers, they know what is right and what's wrong, but their children, their kids still don't know. But mothers, they don't attached the it's called trolls, small like toys. They are not attached to toys, but their children attached toys. That's why they buy it through pay expensive pay lots of money for that for the sake of their children. Likewise, those bodhisattvas, they know the sentient beings are illusory beings, and their sufferings are illusory feeling, but still they have the power of love, power of compassion in the mind. They help skillfully to all beings. That's where the particularly specific practice is practicing about the method. Okay. Then the specific purity, as explained previously, three causes make the roots of virtue of bodhisattvas on this level extremely pure and powerful. So three causes make the roots of virtue means first they offer countless of Buddhas. Sometimes you think, oh, there's only 1001 Buddha. So there's two Buddhas. There's no countless Buddhas, but there are. So we well figured that out during the 10th level. Okay, we have how many Buddhas? We will understand at that time. To give, that's where first these bodhisattvas offering countless of Buddhas, and then they bring countless of mother sentient beings into spiritual maturity. Spiritual maturity means first their mind has no dharma. Of course, they have Buddha nature, but their mind is not melt. So that's where their mind is pretty normal. And then those bodhisattvas give path instructions and practice together, and then continually these mother sentient beings mind start to melt like ice melt in the water. So that's where spiritual maturity means like that. Then third is they dedicate their virtues. These perfectly dedicate their virtues. So these three things we call three causes make roots of virtue of bodhisattvas on this level extremely pure and powerful. So our practices are pure or powerful is very much related is relating to how we dedicate, how we practice. Then to giving in example, when a skilled goldsmith decorates finished gold with all sorts of precious gems, decorated the gold by precious gems, it becomes most beautiful, cannot be excelled by other piece of jewelry in this world. Excelled means surpassed. Yeah. Likewise, the roots of virtue of seventh level bodhisattvas are extraordinarily great and pure. They cannot be excelled by those of Sharavikas, practical Buddhas, or bodhisattvas established on lower levels. So, lower levels, which means that this very cheap jewels, they cannot cannot be excelled. These precious gems. Likewise, this the bodhisattva who reached on the seventh level, their virtues is almost unfathomable. We cannot explain easily. So that's where their virtues cannot be excelled by Sharavikas. Sharavikas practice is, I'm very much afraid the lower levels. So I don't want to reborn in the lower levels realms. So they practice, and then the middle capacity practitioner, they thought, only I will attain Buddhahood. I cannot benefit all sentient beings because there are countless sentient beings. Even if I try to help my relatives, my family through spiritual path is so difficult. They kind of give up, so they don't try to help others. But these bodhisattvas, then they have a very special, uh, like the special mind, special and higher capacity. So that's where they provide everywhere. Their bodhicitta provide everywhere. So that's where this example is coming through this way. The specific realization, then we see what kind of the realization. On this level, the truth of the absence of differentiation is realized. So this absence means avoid. Different means they are different. Oh yes, this is right, this is wrong. This is yes, this is no. That's what we have right now. So then absence means avoid. Absence of differentiation means these different things is realized. That's where they start to realize everything is same. But same means we bring two things and make same and then become one form. Not like that. Same means like if there are two cups, if we each cup has each space, but if we open these cups, open or separate or break these cups, this the space inside of these cups spaces are become same. That we say same, otherwise we cannot make sense. That's why we say same, otherwise they are not mixed. They already beyond of mixed and beyond of differentiation. So that's why they realize this. All the various characteristics of Dharma, the sutara and so forth, sutaras and so forth do not appear as separate. Thus, it is said the truth of no differentiation. The specific state of birth, see their specific state of birth, the most bodhisattvas on this level take rebirth as a divine monarch. Monarch means king. We say 1,000 arms, Chakravarti king, something like that. So they are same. Monarch means Chakravarti king. Okay, divine monarch among the delighting in others, manifestations, gods. They are skilled in bring about realizations of Sharavikas and Practical Buddhas. Sometimes let us know this. Practical Buddhas and Sharavikas are not easy, honestly, not easy to lead them. Not easy to lead them. For reason is they have some realization and they have strong craft, strongly attached about that, and then we try to let them liberate from this attached. It's so difficult. But just ordinary being like me or something, and then it's pretty easy to lead. But this Bodhisattva, the Bodhisattva who reached on the 7th level, they have a special skill to lead Sharavikas and Practical Buddhas into the path of the Bodhisattvas, and then they lead them into the nirvana. Through this full consequence, they become kings of the delighting in others' manifestations, gods. They become great, outstanding Dharma masters with a genuine understanding of the Four Noble Truths. The specific ability in one instant, a short moment, a small fraction of time. Small fraction of time is more shorter than the short moment. They can enter 100 Cordelean meditative observations and so forth. These numbers are very rare. We used to use. So Cordeleon is 1,000 trillion is one Cordeleon. 1,000 trillion. We say million, billion, but 1,000 trillion is one Cordeleon. So this Cordeleon meditative observation and so forth. That means they enter in the samadhi. That means right now we are meditating. At that time, we can rest on the shamatha or vipassana for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. But they are enters these Cordeleon meditative observations. So that means they have a method how to meditate. They experience those meditations. Then the Earth Bodhisattvas levels. Now we finished to talk about the seventh. Yeah, its specific name is the unshakable. This specific etymology is the meaning of the unshakable. It is too called because it is unmoved by notions. Notions means ideas. Notions that either strive after characteristics or the absence of characteristics. So the bodhisattvas who reach on the earth level, they start to purify subtle obscurations. They don't have afflictive emotions. So this the seventh level. It says far-reaching means they far from. They start to start. Sorry, they start to say goodbye afflictive emotions, but still they have obscurations. Obscuration obscured our wisdom. So in inner mind, we have a subtle fixation or very subtle imprinting. So that is we call obscuration, which means we are ready to appear some other thoughts. We don't have thoughts for a few hours. It's very nice, but after some conditions, we met some conditions or something happened, suddenly we occur another thoughts. So which means we have imprinting of obscuration. So that's where this earth bodhisattva who reached on the earth bhumi, they don't want to make efforts to purify afflictive emotions like attachment, anger, and so forth. And also they can rest on the samadhi almost effortlessly. They can meditate, but then they start to purifying the subtle obscurations. So under the first level to the seven, we call impure levels in the Mahayana way of the teaching, and add to the 10 we call pure levels, and then 11th is a Buddha's level. Therefore, it is known as the unshakable, since it is unmoved by the two notions. So they don't have this as here said, these characteristics or the essence of characteristics. So they don't have these two things. So they are unshakable. The specific thought of training This level is achieved through 8 the kinds of mastery, uh, such as understanding the behavior of sentient beings and so forth. So they purifies or they training the 8 kinds of masteries. So let's see, uh, they uh, uh, these are known the minds all beings. So knowing the minds of all beings. So that means if I am this bodhisattva who reached on at the bhumi or level, I'll focus towards you without efforts. Okay, focus towards you. I understand your mind. Even in each and every second, in a moment, what you think, what kind of thoughts, what kind of samadhi, what are how strong your bodhicitta, how pure your bodhicitta, everything knows very clearly. But this is not only for one beings, all of beings' minds, even ants or dogs or cats, and then higher gurus and all of this, whoever belong to the mind, they understand their mind. This is a very amazing. We because it's not the how to say easily can understand others' mind. Right now, we say through these physical actions, we just judge that their mind is like that or those, but still it's quite hard. Yeah. So this is number one. Number two, generating bodhicitta based on their clairvoyance. So this clairvoyance means they have a special clairvoyance. So in the 10 years later, what happened? For example, a few hours later, what happens? What happened? And after 1 eon later, what happened? Everything they know. So that's they have special clairvoyance. So that's very amazing that these skills or powers does not come from outside. This power came from the power of meditation and practicing. So as I mentioned this morning, impure mind, pure mind, complete pure mind, and then what is it? Utterly pure mind. So that's where they have complete pure mind. So when we have a complete pure mind, the clairvoyance are the part of this complete pure mind's quality. This is a one part of quality. So it's then number three is the power of one's virtues transforming pleas into pure lines. So this is another amazing things. These bodhisattva, they understand to know which is their pure land. If they are going to create a new pure land, they can. For example, Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha created new pure land. So these bodhisattvas, how they can do is, these bodhisattvas still cannot do as Amitabha did, honestly, because it's not a 10th level of bodhisattva yet, only 8th, yeah. So that bodhisattva can do one thing, special thing. This bodhisattva, his disciples, for example, you are this bodhisattva, I am your disciple, and you know where I will reborn, being reborn. So then you know I will be reborn in your pure land. At that time, you can make gold that pure land for the sake of me. All jewels, whatever I like. So right now, gold means maybe we are like very much about gold. So it's a gold, but there are diamond or anything, whatever we want. So they can transform places into pure lines. Then number fourth is always pleasing Buddhas. Wow, these we are this I don't think we are bad people, of course, but we try our best. But sometimes we are carried by our thoughts, afflictive emotions. So at that time, Buddha does not angry towards us, but Buddha feel a little bit. We can't say it's sad, but Buddha start to project compassion towards us. Something like that happened. But this Bodhisattva never ever make upset Buddhas. It doesn't say only one Buddha. Okay? Buddhas always pleasing Buddhas. So if we pleasing Buddhas, how we have merit. So that Bodhisattva cultivate unfathomable merits through this way. Then number 5, divine vision that understands the student's capacities. Divining vision. Yeah, that's pretty easy to understand. Then this next, number 6, this Bodhisattva purify their pure land for others. So this is quite similar. This first I mentioned that, but they say purify pure lines. Their pure line has different layers in the relative form, in the relative truth. We call this, some pure line is still impure. For example, this earth, Mother Earth, is we say pure land of Shakyamuni Buddha. But I also thought that's where I just clarify about this. I have ever thought. I always think, Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha's pure land is not so perfect. That's I really thought. I have ever thought that. But at that time, I did not know Shakyamuni Buddha has many pure lands. So that's where this is his impure land. So that's then after I know that, I always like to share that. Today exactly I remember that. So that's where this land or this land, sometimes we have a happy, we have a nice the weather, or then everything's peaceful. People love very much about the peace, peaceful mind, and focus more about the spiritual path, and then religious harmonies, and everything, external environment, internal mother sentient beings, and then our mind, everything is sometimes going very well, but sometimes everything changes. It's very terrible, it's very dangerous. It's happened. That's where some pure land is like that. So that's where these Bodhisattvas, they can make pure their pure land. If they cannot make 100% pure land, like Amitabha Buddha's pure land, they can do greatly. Okay, so Amitabha's pure land, we cannot hear the name of suffering. So that's why it's quite unique. Yeah, very unique. Not quite. Sorry. Then the number 8. This number 8 is I think this number 8. Yeah, pure land others. Number 8 is free to determine their next rebirth. Oh yeah, this is very important. Now we are a thing. We are like a thing in the car. So we are not like a driver. So if I am a thing, like a toilet paper or so some other mobile phone or something, and you put in your car, and then wherever you drive, I should just come there, which means I don't have freedom to uh, go wherever I want, or I don't have freedom to do. So it's your freedom. So that means that we are in the samsara. At that time, we don't have freedom. We are follow our thoughts and these emotions. So for that reasons, then, for example, we don't have freedom. What should we going to get dream tonight? So we don't have freedom. But if we training, we practice. For example, if you are going to train about a dream, just I don't know how much relation here, but I tell you that. So if you are going to practice dream yoga practice, what should you do is whole day morning you wake up, you supplicate the guru, and then you are going to visualize everything is dream, very purely. Whether you talk with your friends, internally you are going to focus on this person is dream, in my dream, appears in my dream. I am talking, this is in my dream. I see mountains, rivers, whatever I see, they are dream. Whatever I hear is dream. So you training whole day you do, and then in the night you are going to the bed, and you sleep. At that time, there are particularly way to train, but this another time we can discuss. But then in the simple way, what should you do is you need vow, commitment. I must try to understand my dream tonight. That is very important. You supplicate the guru, and then you you decisively think that I should understand my dream tonight. So you do that 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, and slowly you know that. Actually, to understand the dream and the sleeping transform into the clarity, these part are, I think, very important practice. Sometimes we are practicing gorgeous things, but these things are really beneficial, really, in the night. Otherwise, this Guru Rinpoche said, if we live 100 years, 50 years, we just sleep. Guru Rinpoche said that. So that's where if we sleep for 50 years, if we can transform this sleeping into the clarity, then sleeping is wonderful. So but right now what is this talking is what this talks is this Bodhisattva has freedom wherever he wants. Like you drive car, wherever you have to go, you can go. You are going to Chino Valley, you can drive. If you have car, you can go there. If you are going to Prescott, you can drive and you can go there. So likewise, this Bodhisattva always focus. Okay, this Bodhisattva thinks like that. I have freedom wherever I will be reborn. So, and then second, they think if I will reborn in Los Angeles, I can more benefit there, or New York, or Arizona, something like that. And then they think, oh, Arizona, if you will be reborn in Arizona, is the best to benefit beings, and then they will be reborn in Arizona, something like that. So they have freedom where in the future where they were rebirth, yeah, next rebirth. So this is the at specific training of the at the Bodhisattva who reached on the earth level. Where am I? Ninth. Oh yes. Awareness. Therefore, awareness of the mind of everything love due to clear cognition. The specific practice. Although bodhisattvas on this level practice all 10 perfections, in general, it is said that they place particular emphasis on that of aspirational prayers. So there are 10 perfections. They particularly training about the perfection of prayers. Perfection of prayer. So prayer is Mulam in Tibetan, yeah, Moon Lam. So Moon means aspiration, and Lam is the path to realizing that aspiration. So this bodhisattva, whatever they kind of supplicate or prayer, they quickly accomplished as they wished. Quickly. But then we think, oh, if these bodhisattvas quickly accomplish their wish, and then they always pray for us to attain Buddhahood, but we are not yet. What happened that? We have that question. But there are countless of sentient beings. So if we are not like a fish, or we don't have a ring of faith or karmic connection with these bodhisattvas, their hook cannot pull us. So that's why in this world, the countless of mother sentient beings who ever have the hook of faith and the karmic connection, they really liberated through this power of these bodhisattvas. The specific purity, as explained previously, 3 causes make the roots of virtue of bodhisattvas on this level extremely pure and powerful. So that is, I already said, offering to the countless Buddhas, bring countless mother sentient beings in spiritual maturity, and then dedicate perfectly. To give in example, where I find piece of golden jewelry made by a master goldsmith to be worn on the head or on the throat of a ruler of Jambuvipa. Who is Jambuvipa? Jambuvipa, actually, there are 4 great Chakravarti kings normally because of these four directions. So I explained about their how they benefit us when I taught Golden Temple last years. So Jambuvipa means the king, Chakravarti king in this world. So it could not be surprised by gold ornaments worn by other people. Likewise, the roots of virtue of at the level bodhisattvas are so utterly and perfectly pure that they cannot be excelled by those of Sharavikas and practical Buddhas or bodhisattvas established on lower levels. So it's the same thing. So if there are special the goldsmith make the special gold and jewelry, and then if this wearing by this Jambuvipa's head or neck, it's amazing value. This amazing value. That's generally we think. Yeah, we think some wares are something. Generally we think, oh, this is a very special thing. Generally we think, perceive that is a special thing. Whether that is not special, we think that is a special thing. But some wares are some expensive thing. People don't think that is a very great thing. So like this is related on one's own merit. But here, what should we understand is the lower Buddhist level bodhisattvas who are are on the lower levels, and Sharavikas, they cannot excelled these bodhisattvas, knowledge, experience, realizations, and so forth. The specific realization on this level, the space, like, and the concepts of free nature of every phenomena is realized. Oh, this is very important. This level, the space, like, concepts of free nature of every phenomena is realized. Space. These often, our mind is like a space. Who brings that? The example bring from of course, Buddha, and then Mahasiddha Saraha, Telopa, Naropa, Malarepa, our gurus. So they brought because they experienced their mind, their natural state of mind. So that's where then the earth level, or bodhisattva who are on the earth level, they know everything is like an empty space. Therefore, its bodhisattvas are not shocked and frightened by emptiness, the unboring. When we said everything is unboring, they are not shocked, and they don't think how and why or something like that. Absolutely, they understand. This is known as the achievement of forbearance concerning the unborn. So unborn and emptiness, they have a special forbearance. Forbearance means tolerance, not shocked. So that is the path of application. I think path of application or applications. At that time, they have the same realization. So that's, we have to know that there are 5 paths and 10 levels. They comes together. So through this forbearance of the unborn nature of everything, they realize the non-existence of increase and decrease, and do not consider the really afflicted or the totally pure as either decrease or increases, respectively. Hence, no increase, no decrease. It is also said that, okay, sometimes we think Buddha is layer. Sometimes layer means we are thinking in the positive way. We perceive in the positive way, which means Buddha has special skills for lead us from samsara. That's why Buddha is saying the kind of these things. But in reality, I think Buddha is an honest person. Because he said, even in the earth bhumi, it says, in the reality, everything is unboring. That's very true, yeah. This is very true. If we love about truth, then we should believe about this. So everything is unboring. If something unboring, that is, we can't say it's increase or decreases. That is beyond of increases and increasing and decreasing. So that's where this bodhisattva understand that. And there's no impure. There's no pure. So that's where empty space means like that. So that's where sometimes we have suddenly question, a very big question. Then how can be that? This is a very good question. So that means you have you don't have very thick obscuration. You don't have thick obscuration. Your obscuration is a pretty thin, like this paper, not like a walls or something like that. So that's where, if you get answer from that question to that question, you figure out, you understand the empty meaning of empty space. So empty space has different ways. Sometimes we say empty space means blue sky. That's not true. That is not an empty space. So empty space is this is the empty space, but not only that. So that is important. Only this, then before Buddha attained Buddhahood, mother sentient beings know the Buddha nature. So that's where but this is example, like this space. Our mind is like this space, but it has clarity. It has great bliss. Great bliss. So the great bliss, the clarity, they are union. But this the Bodhisattva who reached on the earth level, they wake up about this thing. They start to experience this realization. Yeah, this is also the first of the state with the four powers. Okay, the four powers are: one, power over conceptuality. They don't have conceptual or perception. Second, power over very pure Ram. Their pure land is a very pure Ram. Yeah, still it's not utterly pure Ram, but pure Ram. And number three, power over pristine awareness means they have power. Their power is the power of the pristine awareness. Right now, our power is the power of physical, power of this intellectual power, and the power over some small experiences. But they have this power of pristine awareness. So if we have a power of pristine awareness, what happened? The different Kundazambo and I are different is that I have ground of all the consciousness, and this is covered by ignorance, and then I can manifest, I can radiate something. What are they? Attachment, angry emotion, jealousy, self-pride, greed, and so forth, and then covetousness, and those kind of negative thoughts radiate. And after this potential or this power, what happened is then I start to criticize, and then I start to talk good things about me. I am good, directly or indirectly. I try to show you I'm a good person. And directly or indirectly, I start to criticize you and pointing out your faults and so forth. So this is that means I am ordinary beings. So my ground consciousness is covered by thick ignorance. But the Kundazambo has spirit. Then if I'm talking about Kundazambo has a ground consciousness, same as I have. And Kundazambo's ground consciousness is covered by pristine awareness. This cover means it's mixed or union. So from there, he radiates, Kundazambo radiates the five wisdoms. So from these five wisdoms, then through this way, what appears? Five family Buddhas, and then 60 wrathfuls, 42 peaceful yadams. They appears, and then through this way, Kundazambo started to talk or praise other beings. Kundazambo start to say that you have Buddha nature, you are Buddha, you are the Kundazambo, you are Vajradhara. Kundazambo and Vajradhara, they start to praise to us, praise to you, and say good things towards you. So that means their mind is completely pure, freed from fixations. So that's pristine awareness means the power over pristine awareness means they have more power. They act through the pristine awareness, the Bodhisattvas. Earth means who reach on earth level. Power over actions. So that's where then what they do is they don't have karma. They don't have karma cause and effect. They don't have karma cause and effect means they don't have negative karma cause and effect. Their karma cause and effect is pure, perfect. Of the four, that means the four powers, yeah. Of these four, bodhisattvas on the eighth level have realized the first two powers, those of non-conceptuality and of very pure realms. Furthermore, it is said in other scriptural sources that those on the eighth level have achieved the 10 powers, the power over the power over lifespan. So this power over lifespan. Right now we try to stay very long in this world. We know after 100 years, today is 2023. This make 1 gallon, 20, what is, not 24, this 20, 30, 24, 324, 2000, 3000. Anyhow, after 100 years later, after 1 or 200 years later, our name is probably exist or non-exist. Really, we are not sure. So of course, other this body, but they are over this power over lifespan. How long they should stay? How long they are going to stay? They can. But one thing is very important to know. Otherwise, you have a big question here. Bodhisattvas, they don't stay very long. They stayed 100, 110, 20. That's all. Their action is like a very normal. What thinking beings do, they do same thing. Yeah. If they're everybody yeah. So but then here's power over lifespan means this form. I rent that form until 93. Until 93, I will rent this body. So for 93 years, I can benefit these thinking beings from east, south, west, north. So different directions, or southwest, northeast, so forth. So everywhere they understand. Until 93 years, I can benefit them like this way. Okay, this is an example. After 93 years, what they do? They change their body. They change their guest house. So they have freedom. Okay, now through this body, that's all. So I will rent another one. Whatever is whatever they I rented a beautiful bird's form, or some dog's form, or another like a Chakravati kings, or this like a Jambuepa or Monarch or something, or the special the spiritual master, or which way I can benefit. So they understand. That's why then they left this ordinary body, and they entered another new body. So that's where our lifespan means that when they change their body, we say, "Oh, this died, passed away, cry, suffering." They never think that it's dead because it's deathless. So number one, they have 10 powers. This among the one is life powers over lifespan, and second, mind, power over mind. Power over mind means 24/7 they are in the natural state of mind. Bliss, union of bliss and clarity, union of appearances and clarity, union of non-perception and clarity. So they are always there, but still they can benefit through this way. Then number 3 is commendatives. Commendatives means commendatives means actually the material things. Material things. Sometimes they how to say, there are different ways. Sometimes they particularly make themselves as special jewels. If some location, some places, the jewels makes more benefit, they become like a jewels, or they are the business of jewelers, or some like other whatever these beings, like a food or some dress or whatever they like means not only they like, and through this way then they lead in the spiritual path. So that's where the countless sentient beings lead in the spiritual maturity, means that. So they whatever they like through this way they benefit. And also some poor area, some place has no food, no water, and then the people visited there and they give lots of food, water, and clothes. These are the exactly these bodhisattvas activities. And then action means that then we talk a lot about then through the 3 doors, body, speech, mind, they never harm others directly and indirectly, but they benefit. And then birth state, wherever they birth, should be reborn, their freedom or power. Then prayer, that I already said. Intentions, miracles, pristine awareness, and Buddha Dharma. So they have these 10 powers. Okay. The specific state of birth, the most bodhisattvas on this level take rebirth as a divine monarch among the Brahma gods, with the power over an entire 1,000-fold world system. They are skilled in expounding the meaning of the Sharavika and the practical Buddha paths. So sometimes we only mention all bodhicitta, all mother sentient beings. It cannot benefit some sentient beings. They don't have interesting like Sharavikas, and then they particularly become masters of Sharavikas and practical Buddhas. And first they bring in the one stage, and then they bring in the second stage. They do like that. The full consequence is to take birth as a Brahma god. Brahma god, you know, yeah? Brahma god, lord of a 1,000-fold world system. They are unsurpassed by Sharavikas and practical Buddhas in the exposition of the doctrine. The specific ability in one instant, a short moment, a small fraction of time. This right now we are quite unfathomable. I think fraction of momentum is so fast, so short moment. They can enter as many meditative observations as the number of particles. Particles is very small. Yeah? Particles in a Cordilleran world system, and so forth. So Cordilleran is 1,000 trillion, yeah. And then actually this the first Bhumi to the, I think, under 5th Bhumi or 6th Bhumi, we mentioned very details about that. So that's where even this book make a little short form. So just I remind you, they enters thousand. They enters the many meditative observations as the number of particles in a chord-line word system. So which means 1,000 trillion, yeah, samadhi, and then they see 1,000 trillion of Buddhas in this short moment. So let's see, we are whole life we are trying to practice, but still we cannot see Buddhas actually as they see. I mean, so they see thousands of trillions of Buddhas, and they receive teachings from 1,000 trillions of Buddhas, and then they teach 1,000 trillions of students, disciples. So that's they have a special power. The Nanda Bodhisattva's level, its specific name is the excellent intelligence. Specific etymology, the meaning of these words, it is so called because it is endowed with the extremely fine intelligence, namely clear and exact discernment. Therefore, which means they understand very specifically everything. This is important. Buddha has two kinds of omniscience. One is omniscient, which is meditative, equipoise omniscient. Another omniscient is Buddha knows everything. We see the ants. Ants has a very thin. What is called west. This west, and peacock. Peacock has a feather. On the feather has many kind of eyes or some like a drops. The lens. Buddha knows each and every single. These are the cause of them. Buddha, this second omniscient or wisdom, understand that Buddha has two wisdoms. One wisdom understand the essence of all phenomena. So then Buddha rests on the meditative equipoise. That means no thoughts, no movement, just rest like an empty space. And then Buddha start to stand up from this meditation and focus the other side. Buddha knows everything. So peacock has a feather, and peacock has a gorgeous feather. On the each and every feather, or what's called they have some lens like a decorations. Buddha knows why they're coming, where they're coming, what time they came, what cause, and when this disappear, everything knows. And then Buddha knows this peacock's consciousness, and past of peacock's consciousness, features peacock's consciousness, and then that present moment, what peacock thought, like he liked to eat poisons or like to eat other insects or bugs or something. Buddha knows everything, and the Buddha knows how long peacock should sleep, and how many how to say that, everything Buddha knows. So that's where this ninth level Bodhisattva who reached on the ninth level, they start to gain this wisdom, Buddha's wisdom, second part of wisdom. That's where they have some special understanding about that, but not as Buddha. The level is the excellent intelligence. Because of its good intelligence, clearly discerning. Discerning means that it's understand each and every thing separate, in details. In details. The specific Tharava training, this level is achieved through 12 factors, such as infinite prayers and so forth. Okay, so they have 12 factors. Let's see This ninth has 12 factors. There are 12 factors, but they are included 5. Okay, so limitless prayer. So our prayer is not limitless, limited, but limitless prayer. That's where their prayers benefit until all mother sentient beings attain Buddhahood. Second, divine languages, known divine languages. So these bodhisattvas understand whole languages, God's language, birds' language, and human language, and dogs' language, or whatever. That's where they communicate with them. They understand all languages. Number 3, unceasing courage. This is very important. Why this is this important? Ninth bodhisattvas have special courages, yeah. Because right now I'm talking very positive example about the positive example. So we start to benefit all beings. There are countless beings, but we try to liberate them from samsara. So how should we liberate them? We build a big the gate, like a main gate, and then let them come and push through this door. It's possible we can do, but we liberate them means we are going to liberate from their thoughts. So that is not easy. We try to liberate their thoughts from today. Tomorrow their thoughts change. Tomorrow we try it. Tomorrow afternoon changes. So it's very, very difficult. So of course for us it's difficult. Even our Lokiteshvara, he got a lot of difficulties. There's a story, so I will share with you, because it's Chinese is also in this case Chinese is also one of these bodhisattvas. So Chinese commitment from Amitabha Buddha. This is many years ago. So then Amitabha, the Chinese commitment that I will liberate all sentient beings from samsara. So this the courage, or the commitment is not easy. So then he started to liberate. That's where Chinese how liberate to us. He Om Mani Padme Hum, 6 syllables. So then Om he radiated light, and one Buddha who he sent in the God's realm. And second, from his throat, Ma, this mantra radiated light, he sent one god to the demigod's realm. And then Ni, he radiated one light, and the same like this Buddha to us. And then this from navel area then radiate one light in the animal realm. Below the navel there's another the light radiate, and the hunger ghost realm. And then usually we say this feet, center feet, or so in the Sutrayana we mostly use that feet, but anyhow, the one radiates one light, and then send Buddha in the hell realm. So these 6 realms, he benefit, liberate each and every thought. They say recite Mana Mantra, counting Mana Mantra, visualize Mana Mantra, and for reasons try to arise compassion. So eventually what happened? He went to the top peak of a mountain, Ruotala. Ruotala is his pure land. So there's a top of a mountain that he went to top of that mountain and look at the mother sentient beings. So that is the story says. But what should we understand? He went to the top of the mountain of Ruotala, means he apply clairvoyance that Bodhisattvas gained this morning we talked. He rests on the samadhi, and then he apply clairvoyance and focus towards the other sentient beings. there are same numbers still in the samsara. It could not, almost he felt it could not liberate any single beings, but he could, the many beings from samsara. How he could liberate means, for example, people has generated compassion, and sometimes the bodhisattvas did that. There are some like a tigers or lions, they attacked buffaloes, and then the crocodiles, they eat the cows or buffaloes. They show this action, and then people start to generate compassion. So that's where they utilize different methods. They apply different methods. Anyhow, then Chinese, he look in this there, and then he could not liberate, and then he was upset. That's where I'm talking about the courage here. Meaning is that courage is very important. So he was little upset. Oh, I really can't do. So that's where then there are two stories. The one story says that because of he break his samaya, his head become 11 piece, 10 piece. His head became 10 piece. So that's where then Amitabha Buddha came to him, and then he collected each and every piece on his head. So then he has 10 piece, 10 heads, 10 heads, 10 heads. 1,000 arms Buddha has 10 head, and then plus their Amitabha's head, 11, 11. If I'm not wrong, 11 heads or face. It become like that. Became like through this way. And then another story is at that time. Then he breaks samaya. Then he reborn in and then he cried. Oh, there's a story. Then this is not another story actually. If I later talk more, for tempers, and he cried here, and then he cried, and then he cried. The tail comes from his eyes, and then he threw this tail, through compassionately spread, like we say amarta ahung, something like that. He threw, and then these blessings in the God's realm. There are the gods. Indra god has two daughters, rebirth two daughters. Then one daughter rebirthed two daughters, and then that's one daughter. One time she stole a flower of gods. She stole a flower from gods, and then this that's karmic fruition. She reborn in the Nepal, in rebirth in the Nepal. So Nepal, in the very poor family, poor mother. She has almost father. She don't have spend time with the father, seems. And then she, what did happen is, then she so she is has rebirth in the very poor family, and there's no rules and regulations. For example, right now you say, "Oh, I am lady. I have power, so you are not easily how to say contact me," or something like that. But at that time, she just contacted with many people. So one is one person. She contacted with a man. He take care of dogs, and then she has one child with him. And another, after that, she contact Contact means physically, male and female contact. Okay, and then she contact a horse keeper, not a housekeeper, horse. Horse take care of horse. I don't know how to say, like a shepherd horse. And then she has one boy. And then after that, next one is the birds, person who take care of birds. And then the third is the pig. So 4 people they took care of 4 animals. So she contacted 4 people, so she has 4 boys. She had 4 boys. So then one time she thought, oh, I'm going to build a stupa. I'm going to build a stupa. So she would like to build a stupa. So then she went to the king, Nepal king, at that time, Nepal king, and she asked the king, may I have a place to build for building or to build a stupa? And he thought, oh, this is a very poor woman, but still she have special courage to build a stupa. So then he said, yes, you come build a stupa. So that's where he just allowed, accidentally he allowed. And then she her and she has 4 boys. They start to build the Nepal stupa. Right now we have big stupa. What is it called? Godinada? Kathmandu has a big stupa, yeah, with eyes. Bodhnata stupa occur from this way. There's slightly different stories, but today I'm going one story. Okay, so then they have then they build the 3rd level. Under 3rd level, 1st level, and then 2nd level, 3rd level they built, and then village people, neighbors, they started to jealous that, oh, this the family is a very poor family, so they just take care of horse, birds, and those pig and dogs. So they went to the king. They told to king, oh, we don't let her build the stupa. The village people told to the king, and then king says, oh, that I accidentally allowed, so no, I can't counter it. So king said that. That's where Tibetan call that stupa what? Jarong kasho. Jarong means it's okay. So that's where king said it's okay to build the stupa. So that's happened. So then if I continually a little bit talk about this stupa, then after they build third level, then their mom, the woman who came from Gaudram, she died. So she died. Before she died, she noticed she will die, and she asked their boys, her boys, no, it already we built 3rd level layer or levels. So the top of there, you build a pumpa. Pumpa means vase. You know, we use like a pumpa, like vase, same like quite similar. This pumpa is not completely this stomach part, the middle part. You build there like a pumpa, and then inside put a lots of blazing things. She asked them, put many blazing things, Buddha's relics and many blazing things, and then invited some gurus to blazing that, and then she passed away. So that's where there were 4 boys, yeah, 4 boys. So 4 boys, they have 1 donkey and 1 cow. No, buffalo. 1 buffalo and 1 donkey, because they carried stones. They cannot carry as Malariba did, but they put on the back of buffalo and donkey. They always carried that. And then one time, this big boy, big brother, he they kind of they dream and they hear kind of they feel like with a gets or something like that. It's whatever you prayer, then you will accomplish. They hear like same kind of message from their gets or their dream, or that doesn't clear. So then but the morning they talk discussed, I feel that, I feel those, and then they started to supplicate prayer in front of a stupa. So then they discussed what should you do, and then one said, this oldest one said, may I reborn the place where like a Dharma king, and my wish is that. He said that. So that then that boy, okay, the first said that, and the second said, oh, may I become spiritual master, rebirth, a spiritual master. And then third said, may I, may I make a union between the Dharma king and Dharma master. Oh, and then fourth said, may I become a great like a magical magicians, greater magicians, to remove all these obstacles when my brothers take care of those things. They promote or they this create the area of Dharma practices. So that's who are them. First, we should go there, if it's not too much. So first boy, he said, may I become Dharma king? After he died, and then he rebirthed the King Chusong Depsi. King Chusong Depsi, in the King Chusong Depsi. And then second is Kinchin Bodhisattva. Kinchin Bodhisattva, he was the Nalinda master. Nalinda India master. Kinchin Bodhisattva. And then third, who say, may I become magician, is Guru Pema Sambhava, Guru Rinpoche. And then another one, third or fourth, this one master we call Basanang. Basanang is not so kind of well known. Perhaps you heard his name. So then he invited Guru. He bring Kinchin Bodhisattva, and then Guru Pema Sambhava and King Tsong Desi make union together. So that's where whole Dharma flourished. Actually, we said since King Sunzin Gampo there is a Dharma existed, but that time very kind of seems some Dharma books or something like that, but not so much. So and then there are the stories a lot, but I think it's fun. But the courage. Now we are talking through the courage. So courage is very important. Without courage, then we cannot accomplish. So courage is important. And then fourth is right now we are talking about the specific training. Yeah, specific training, thorough training part. So there are. I thought it has how many? 12 something, but 12, but included 5. So then fourth is in unceasing courage, means never cease the courage. And then bodhicitta, I think, is fourth. And then fifth is rep with qualities. So this ninth bodhisattva has those powers. Specific training thoroughly means those. Okay. 8. Okay. Therefore, the infinite number of prayers and the knowledge of a divine language. Yeah. The specific practice, although bodhisattvas on this level practice all 10 perfections, is general. It is said that they place particular emphasis on that of the power. So they particularly practice the power of perfection of power. Okay. So since today you know, sorry, today you understand. Milarepa talks about 10 powers. Usually we talk 6 powers, but Milarepa talked 10 powers. So then today you understand among 10 power, so 6 power, first Bhumi, Bodhisattva who reached the first Bhumi, they practice perfection of 10 perfections, but particularly perfection of generosity. And then under wisdom is the 6 Buddhist levels, there's 6 perfections. Yeah. And then 7th is Bodhisattva who reach on the 7th level, they practice perfection of method. Bodhisattva who reached on the 8th level, they practice perfection of prayer. And then Bodhisattva who reached the 9th level, who practices perfection of power. Okay, so what is perfection of power? This is important. These beings with the base of purification, which are the obscurations, the agent of purification is our wisdom. This wisdom grows vaster and vaster. So base of purification and agent of purification. So in the Suttarayana it comes. So Suttarayana started to talk here too. So what these, for example, this over 5 aggregates are base of purification. And what are the agent of purification? Agent means then first we see 5 aggregates. It's a general, ordinary aggregates, and then we purify them. It becomes 5 family Buddhas. So that's where these Bodhisattvas has this power. The specific purity as explained previously, 3 causes make the roots of virtue of Bodhisattvas on this level extremely pure and powerful. This we understand offering countless Buddhas, bring countless of sentient beings in spiritual maturity, and dedicate perfectly. These 3 things make Dharma practices are pure. What are them? Generally, receive refuge vow. We never forget 3 jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Never forget 3 roots, Guru, Yedam, Dakinis. Never forget 3 kayas, 3 fruits, which are Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. So that we often remember. That means we offering to the countless of Buddhas. We start from there. And then we say we bring countless of mother beings in spiritual fruition. Maturity means we generate bodhicitta. May all beings be happy. May all beings liberate from suffering. So that is bodhicitta and compassion. And then perfectly dedicated means not related to ones. May I never thinking, always focusing on other beings. And even we recite a single mantra, we dedicate to other beings. Then whatever we practice is pure practice. That's where here say pure and powerful. Okay. To give an example, where a fine piece of golden jewelry made by master goldsmith, to be on the head or throat of a universal monarch. It could be excelled neither by the piece of jewelry worn by the kings of the various regions, nor by those worn by any of the inhabitants of the 4 continents. 4 continents we 4 continents we understand clearly during the mandala practice, mandala offering practice in the Ngundro. Yeah, four continents: east, south, north, and east, south, west, north. There are four continents of the world system. Likewise, the roots of virtue of ninth level bodhisattvas are so endowed with the great pristine awareness that they cannot be excelled by those of Sharavikas, practical Buddhas, or bodhisattvas established on lower levels. So these bodhisattvas have like this power, this. Then others add the bodhisattva to the first bodhisattva. They cannot compete the ninth bodhisattva because of realizations and experiences and so forth. The specific realization of the four powers mentioned in the previous session, bodhisattvas at this ninth level realize the state of the power of pristine awareness. That's we already said. Since they have achieved the four modes of perfectly clear discerning knowledge. What are the four modes of perfectly clear discerning knowledge? The 10 levels Sutara explains. What are the four modes of clear discerning knowledge? They are constant possession of perfectly clear discerning knowledge of Dharma. This is number one. Perfectly clear discerning knowledge of meanings. Number three, perfectly clear discerning knowledge of definition. And perfectly clear discerning knowledge of teaching skill. So discerning, this is important. Even it's very important for me. Many times I try to keep it in the mind. It's quite hard. I mean, in English, discerning means in the Heart Sutara. No speak, no reflecting, no mentioned. Machi, unboring, unceasing, then discerning. So discerning means, do you know? Discerning means first, if we are focused on an object. For example, I focus this book. Normally I think, oh, this is a book. But if some never see before book, we show this, they don't know this is book. Then I'm little better than that. If I read better than that person, probably that person who never see book, yeah, if it is possible. And then some look at this book, suddenly what they see, impermanent, because they are practice four thoughts, so impermanent. So they have more benefit. When I see book, I just see a book, that's all. But someone see this book, they think impermanent. That's where they gain some realization. And then next person sees emptiness. They see book, emptiness. And the next person then sees non-duality. So because of this book, some gains realization of non-duality. Some gains realization of emptiness. Some gains gain realization of the impermanence. So that's where discerning means to see that specifically the special things. So this is very important. The specific state of birth, most bodhisattvas on this level take birth as a divine monarch among the Brahma gods with a power over a millionfold world system. They are able to answer all questions. The full consequence is to take birth, a Brahma, Lord of a millionfold world system, in dispelling kulums. Kulums means doubts. Kulums from the minds of sentient beings. They are unsurpassed by arahats and the like. Of course, answer, how to say, they cannot excel, but they are hard, or they cannot exalted them. Specific ability in one instant, a short moment, a small fraction of time, they can enter as many meditative observations as there are pure particles in a million countless. Buddha fields, and so forth. And million count, they can enter million countless samadhi. They can see million kind of Buddhas, countless Buddhas. They listen teachings from million countless Buddhas. They teach million countless of sentient beings. So they have this one by one increases. Yeah. The 10th Bodhisattva levels, its specific name is Cloud of Dharma. Clouds of Dharma. This specific etymology means the clouds. What is meaning of the cloud of Dharma? So it tells it is called the cloud of Dharma because the Bodhisattvas on that level are like a cloud that cause a rain of Dharma teachings to fall all beings, thereby washing away the faint dust of their afflictions, alternatively like clouds filling space. Their meditative observations and the retention means the hiding or keeping, okay? Holding or keeping. Retention, dharani means it's recite some mantras, then they never forget many things. They have attaining provide the entire space like reality. For example, we recite Manjushri mantra, it open the seed of our memories. And then some dharani never forget. So that's why they have special. So this Bodhisattvas, this level called the cloud of Dharma. So then they teach through their like a clouds rains. Likewise, this Bodhisattva Bodhisattvas give teachings, all beings, and then benefit. So the beneficials talking later in clearly. So therefore, it is the cloud of Dharma because, like clouds, the two meditative observations and dharani provide the space like reality. So today, you know, what is the 10th bhumi? Always we say, after 10th bhumi, then we become enlightened. Yeah, we will become Buddha. So what is the name of that? Cloud of Dharma. And then the qualities are, it says, the specific Taravatani, unlike for the previous levels, there is no presentation of this level in this ornament of clear realization, but in the 10 levels sutta, it says, "Oh, children of the vectors," vectors means Buddhas, yeah. Up to the 9th level, Bodhisattvas have thoroughly analyzed and do thoroughly analyze the immeasurable aspects of knowledge within investigatory intelligence. So then the specific thoroughly training in this text doesn't says that. Most text doesn't say that, but I will tell you this part important and interesting. So 10th Bodhisattvas have 70 million thara of trainings. Okay. So then it's a number. It's quite hard to understand, but 70 million thara of training. So in Vesselance, 10 billion million. What is that? Sambhogakaya's Pure Lands. So in Vesselance, it means right now we have do these bed. What is the bed mattress? We buy through very expensive. We pay so lots of money for that, and it's very kind of soft. Same like this bodhisattvas have this power to do the pure lines, pure lines. Not only bedroom, it's like a whole line they can make like that. It's not like an earthquake or so forth. Okay. Then listening to the Dharma from 10 billion million Buddhas for what says is a freak moment, very short moment. They can listen. They have that power. Teaching to the 10 billion million disciples. Practice 10 billion million different kinds of generosity. Radiates 10 billion million lights. Rest in 10 billion million kinds of samadhi. Displaying 10 billion million of miracles. So they total have these seven. We said 70 million. Tarvatani concludes in 7. It's like that. So today we stop here because time is up, and no worries. Okay, then let us dedicate through way of bodhicitta mind. Reason is those we sooner or later we will become these bodhisattvas. Today perhaps we think, oh, this is lots of numbers or something. What is that? I'm very important to count only money. We think like that, yeah. I like to count money, not counting about these qualities, realizations. We think that it's possible. We are thinking about this, but sooner or later we will become that. We will reach on the 10th level of bodhisattvas. So that's where it's talking about us or our us. So please generate bodhicitta for that. Chancho sencho renpo che ma ji pa nan ji jer je ba nyam bar me bar ya gone gone pe war jo.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful time, and may your bodhicitta increase higher and higher, like first level to the 10 levels, and then may you become Buddha. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Please have a wonderful week.